let's go to the analysis board. And then we'll frip. All right. So this is the game I played yesterday. My opponent was 1,500. Game 75. Now, I have to warn you, he did make some mistakes. So, warning. There's a pin queen hanging over me. Well, let's see. I saw Paul McCartney in St. Louis when he was 74 in concert. And Karam saw when he was 64, and he sang when I'm 64. So he wasn't lying. Okay, I'm black. And this guy's rated 1570. And I usually play E5, as you know. I played B5. And he played a move I've never seen before. All right. He played E3. I'm not really familiar with that move. I took. So now I'm not a pawn down. Yay. Now I played bishop A6 as I figured he might not see it. But I was wrong. He played queen B3, which is a very strange move. And I played queen B6. Trying to straighten out my pawns. He took this, which is also strange. And now the engine says he's losing. I mean, I have 3 pieces developed, and he has 1. I mean, it's chess. You got to develop your pieces. So now it's very hard not to lose this pawn because E4 is not defended. And if the queens get traded, you're not defending this anymore. So you're going to lose that pawn, basically. Now, he didn't want to lose that pawn, so he played knight C3. And now I have a couple ways to win. The engine prefers knight here. I almost played that. I traded queens first, then played here. Now I have 2 threats. Knight C2 winning his rook and just being a pawn up. He's got double pawns, too. So when I'm a pawn up, my opponent also has a bad pawn structure. Now, this was the funniest part of the game. My opponent's a fast player. He's an adult. And here, he went to play knight E2, the knight on G1. And then he changed his mind while he was doing it and went to F3. And he wasn't doing it as a joke, like some people would be like, ha, I tricked you. No, he obviously just changed his mind while he was moving. That's why it was funny. Now, of course, neither one of those moves deals with the 2 threats, especially the knight C2 threat, which is winning a rook. The engine says king E2 and black is up 1. So he played here. That's not good. Now remember, there's good and there's not good. Knight F3 is not good. All right. Thanks for hosting me, even though there's no viewers. Yay! Thank you. Yeah, Maurice said not including himself. That's right. Okay, knight F3. So I played here. Engine recommended knight C2. And then I took, and I'm pretty good up a rook in a slow game. E4, chomp, chomp, chomp. Then he played bishop G5 exclam, former muscle. E6, then he made a threat. And then I didn't want to tell you guys this, but I blundered knight takes E4, and then he checkmated me. I just didn't see it. All right, now that's what you guys would do. Okay. Knight B5, I played rook B8, because that's the engine move. Knight C7 check. King D8 is also the engine move. Bishop F4. Then I checked, and he saw it. Then I played a Zwischenzug. Rook takes B2. I took. So I'm up a rook and maybe a pawn or two. And D6, exclam. Rook B3 check, double exclam. Knight takes E4, triple exclam. Bishop D6, takes. King E7, rook here. Okay, now remember earlier I said the funny part of the game was when he played knight E2 and then changed his mind and went to F3. This was also funny. He played G3, and then I wrote down G3, and before I could capture his knight, he resigned. I guess he forgot his knight was attacked. That's not the funny part. The funny part is, then he put the pawn back and started analyzing other moves. He was like, if I go here, you'll go here, which I would not do. I mean, I would play rook c2 check and mate him. And then he said, yeah, and if I go here, you just pin my knight, which I also wouldn't do. But yeah, he was like, what happens if I do that? Now, this reminds me of something I've seen over the last 40 years of my chess career. Normally it's my game, but it could be other games. I've seen in other games. I'm playing somebody who's much, much, much lower rated than me. We'll say between 1,200 and 1,900. In a tournament game. And I'm plus a billion. I'm up a rook and a knight and, whatever. I mean, it's like this. And then they make a move. They hit the clock. And the move like hangs a pawn or something. And they're like, and then they resign. And I've seen that a lot, where somebody who's between +5 and +10 for myself, and they make a move that doesn't change the evaluation, but it might lose a pawn. And they're like, And I'm thinking, like, what? Sometimes it's the best move. Like, I'm threatening mate, and I'm threatening their queen, and they find the only way to save it, but it, like, loses a rook. And then I take the look, they're like, oh my God, I missed that. If only I had seen it. All right. I get that a lot. Yeah. Why mate? 3-year-old, you are better than me. Right. Now, the way you spell judgment, although it's allowed, it's preferred not to have the E between the G and the M. So next time you spell judgment, leave that E off. That's a better way of spelling it.